This is a little bit late, but let's take a look at the new Arcana update together, because I wanted to talk to you guys about this first. So you guys got this update on Wednesday, right? I'm pretty sure you guys are having fun with it. Who made an Arcana in my stream for Hyper Express? I already see someone saying worst class I ever tried. I was thinking of what I can review kind of for this. If those of you who are making an Arcana, let's say if you are serious about it by looking at like the highlights and stuff, for example, someone did say she is so fun, that's good, right? But if you're planning to like make it as an ult, she is not one of the best class to make it as an ult. Again, one, she's squishy, one, she takes a lot of stuff, and she also takes a lot of additional attributes to make her viable. For example, let's talk about some of the key stuff, right? Let's say you're playing a raid version, you're using the Emperor's Grace. Usually you have this as level 1, and the reason why is because level 1 is 20%, level 2 is 25, and then level 3 is 30. So instead of putting it to level 3, if you put it to level 1 and have a level 3 of a attack skill, that's 16%, so it's 36% instead of 30. The reason why she goes Barricade is because she has no other damage engraving to go for. She can't go Raid Captain, she can't go Keen Blunt because her skill, she has crit damage already built in, including in her cards too. You don't usually take, so there's only a choice of Barricade, but Barricade only works if you have 3 protection runes. That's why Arcana is more like a not newbie friendly class. That's why some of my friends who started as an Arcana, they all quit because the game was too hard. So that part I kind of wanted to talk about, and a second part I want to talk about. Those of you who are interested in like a Chaos Dungeon one, and the Chaos Dungeon one is super simple. As long as you have level 1 of this Emperor Grace, just have level 3 Preemptive Strike. That's all you need. This particular card just gives you a damage and an AoE. I'm pretty sure you have seen this in like multiple videos as well. If you draw the card and then you use it, just a large AoE explosion happens around the whole thing, so it's like really easy. And if you put this as level 1, you get 50% more gauge gains, and it adds 10% more damage to normal skills, right? So even if I have just level 1 and then just level 3 Preemptive Strike, you're totally fine with your whole Chaos Dungeon run. And the additional question that I saw while playing was, you can get Barricade last, yes. You need the protection runes to make Barricade viable. I don't need to go over these in detail because the class requires you to memorize most of these cards, because playstyles are different based on what cards you draw. Well, most of this stuff is already on some of my older videos in YouTube, and also at the same time I'm gonna have an interview soon with a very good Arcana player that Lustboy knows. It's a very high risk, high return, plus high skill and then high reward class. So I've seen some of you guys saying this is a very fun class, it's a very fun class. Later on when you face harder raids, it's gonna be hard for you to play more comfortable. You might get a little bit of stress, but if the class is fun for you, I think you guys should keep on playing it. So that's about it for Arcanist that I wanted to talk about for the spotlight, because I don't want to talk too much about it. And as for the build that I didn't go over, which is the Emperor build, I never tried the Emperor build because the Emperor build, I use it mostly on Chaos Dungeons. Some people do use the Emperor build, but I think that one in the future maybe we can cover it, but that is such a hipster build that no one really knows, and I don't want to talk about it in detail too much for something that I don't know as much. So Infernal difficulty came out. So the thing is, I did beat this as well, but I didn't do the Deathless run. Infernal difficulty is definitely something else. It's like, so don't get me wrong, but I think this is a waste of time because it uses a bunch of battle potions and etc, all that stuff to get like a statue of cosmetics and things. You know, you never get improved gear score and all that stuff. So if you're someone that is planning to upgrade your gear and all those stuff, doing Inferno mode is going to just waste your time. If this is basically for people who are up for the challenges, because it's for flexing. You guys, when you guys play like an indie game, you know, there's like hard mode and like there's like a hell mode, that kind of stuff, right? It's just like that. But I mean, no one would agree with me, but battle items are so expensive. If battle items were like cheaper, I would do this more, but keep using the battle items, it just makes me worried kind of stuff. That's why I wait until I have an abundant amount of battle items that I can just use. People have been asking me if there's gonna be like guides for it. I'm not good enough to make guides for hell content. maybe I can talk to Lost Boy about it if it's like really in the need. For example, you never know. Okay, Korea Hell mode content, I don't think it's as popular in Korea, right? But who knows? Maybe Hell mode content, Infernal mode content is maybe it gets super popular in NA. Maybe it's gonna be like almost mandatory. If it's more in demand, if it's more in something that people wants to do, I can definitely help out and like ask people who are in the community in Korea to help us make like a guide. I'm not in the interest of doing it because it's such a low demand in Korea. So we have this one too, the water pop arena, right? So when I saw this thing, this PvP pool party thing, right? I hated this minigame because it took forever. If I give you a tip, because I played this all the time, right? So the Mark 1, this is definitely better than the shotgun because the Mark 1, the range is much longer. So what you do is you stay as far as you can. You just keep spamming the normal attack and you tap them, you stun them, and then just throw the grenade right in their face and they just get knocked out. I hope they got the nerf version because before it used to have us make like 300 points to finish the round and it took like 5 minutes. We had to do 5 minutes of this and then they decreased the points afterwards to like 150 or something so that it can finish faster. But yeah, I mean, well, this is the stuff I guess you can do it as a side. Yeah, I heard. Well, I thought this event it's just like the you just do it like every 2 hours, I think. Quite remember it, but there's no reason to do it multiple day. Now for Challenge Abyssal, so those of you guys did the Challenge Abyssal, I'm actually curious if you guys got this Legendary Selection Pack. Who got the Legendary Selection Pack this week? Mine went for 3k, I got mine for 1k, I got one for 3k, 8k. So I got one today, and I bid for 10.3k. But I tried to like launder the dude, but I failed. So the Challenge Abyssal dungeon gives you a Legendary Select Pack. It's a very low chance. Here's my suggestion. I think Legendary Select Pack is one of the most valuable thing in the whole game. And you just have to wish that you're queued with newbies. Legendary Select Pack is something, it's like a wild card. Having a Light of Salvation 18 or Light of Salvation 30, it gives your whole account a damage boost. This means if you have a 30 set, your account is 15% more stronger than people who don't. Challenge Abyss dungeon, I would do it every week at least. This one, I would always get it done because you get materials too. When there's a reset, I always do that first thing in the morning on Wednesday so that I don't forget about it. So that's just my advice in terms of Challenge Abyssal dungeons and stuff. So new progression events, we got the power pass from 1302 to 1370. So 1370, which is also really nice. I got this post that I did with the Amazon. I shared some of the ideas here because they wanted me to help. So 1302 to 1370, right? Let's say you just make a 1302 character and then do Hyper Express. Getting it to 1370 is really cheap. It's almost pretty free. So let's say you get it to 1370. If you get to 1370, it will get you 79,200 silver per day. You can run 1370 Chaos Dungeons for the materials, and you can also run Argos, right? So you can have that kind of ult on your arsenal to get additional stuff, right? So if you are planning to do that, this kind of power passes will help you to make your account much stronger in terms of silver generation and material generation, right? If you push a little bit more, you can get it to 1415. This 1415 and 1430-ish is like a good idea because you can go Argos and Valton. Or maybe you can take the Valton bus too and get some of that gold. That's what most people do. I hope you guys made some like good ults and then having fun with it because that's what it's supposed to be. And Makoko challenge is basically the newbie stuff. And I'm kind of glad that the Makoko buff is there too because some people may think that it might make a game a little too easier because it's 20% more damage and it would take 40% less damage, right? It's 90 days or you have the character item level 1370. So for example, we have this little Makoko right here. There you go, you see this? Makoko right here. Someone in chat was talking about it. You have this little Makoko symbol. That means you're like a newbie. To be frank, I think this game, it's been out for a while, and then if you want your friend to start that has never played Lostark, I want their experience to be at least easy as possible. And this is including having these kind of buffs. But at the same time, you guys may be worried about like, oh, but what if the bots get this too, right? Like, but I mean, that's like a different issue. In my opinion, newbies should have an easier time to learn the game. at least to me. All right, so the new growth support, that's good. So the growth support for all that stuff is all there as well. Like all these things, it's like it's much easier, right? The QOL stuff, most of the QOL stuff is caught up, as in like you even added the jukebox, because we got the jukebox like very recently. The only thing I was worried about Lostark Global versus Lostark Korea, I want at least the QOL and balancing to be caught up and content be a little behind, even if the content's behind, is because to me it is not fair for QOL stuff or balance stuff to be behind. That is just not fair. You can have content a little later, because that makes sense, like having raids at a later time. But if we ever get something that makes the game more enjoyable in terms of the UI, or easier to access things like, you know, the dungeons, like, you know, the alt Q stuff, right? This stuff, like we haven't had this for a long time, right? But since you guys have this too, and got it so fast, for example, it took if it took Korea for like 3 years to get this, and then you guys took 4 months to get it, I think that's a really good. If the QOL was behind, I would be complaining a lot, because QOL is something that has to be caught up, and the balancing as well. And when the balancing happens for tripods next week for Korea, there's gonna be tripod changes, and there is going to be a little bit of balancing coming out for the test servers, right? It's gonna be a balance season again. When that happens, within 1 month, if you guys are going to get that, I think that's pretty fast. Because if you guys get the new updated tripod, that means you guys are gonna have so much easier time doing tripods. You're not gonna be spending hundreds of thousands of gold like me, or hundreds of thousands of gold like the streamers do just to get the 444s. Because having all the tripods just increases your damage so much to a point that is very important. But it's just that it was so hard to do so. You have the skins. You guys have the exact same skin. This is what I got last time. It's like, you know, this skin is so funny because this particular skin, in Korea, like they always make this paladin like pitch black, and then they wear like a black boxers. They always do that, man. I don't know why Koreans always do that. including Foss. I did that to my paladin too. Yeah, but that's like it's like the trolliest way to do it for some reason. Then you have these skins. I haven't seen this one, so I don't know. I haven't seen these ones. I've actually seen this somewhere, but I haven't seen like the top recently. The instruments the same, the weapons. You got the dolphin. That's the paladin one, right? And oh, you have the wagon mount. I have this one too. But I don't have the starfish. I should have got the starfish. I bought it at the auction house. I don't think it's as good, but yeah. I don't think it's a good mount, but I guess you just have it. And then you have the exclusive skins. Yeah, so I'm glad that you guys remember I always made fun of a global server that, hey, you guys are not gonna get bikini skins because you're gonna get censored. I was like making fun of you guys for it. I'm glad that they got me wrong. You guys got these bikini skins. I hope you guys are happy. That means if you got this, we can get more. General store updates, weapon growth packs, support packs, cast level complete pack. Oh, so you buy this for the blue crystals, right? So added power passes that can be purchased through the character select UI by pressing the power pass button. So this means you guys they're selling the premium power passes, right? So notable bug fixes, I don't have to cover it. I'm surprised that I thought they weren't gonna sell power passes, but if they did, I'm actually all about power passes because I think that's pretty good. I think power passes is pretty good because it's pay for convenience, to be honest. Because if your friend who's new at the game really wants to play with you, there should be an option for him to pay it, like to play with you. I guess that just like someone could disagree with me on this, but I agree on this point because I want my friend to play with me. Right, but I can't wait him to do a 1 to 50 and then it's like, hey, where are you at? And then go, I'm at Rohendel, right? And then you wait for like another 3 days, and then since he plays alone, like he's gonna get bored of the game and then he's gonna quit. Like I want him to play like Argos with me or that kind of stuff, right? That's why I have some of my streamer friends start the Korean server recently. You know, they caught up, they catch up so fast, and I appreciate that because like I can just play with them. The point of the game is to have fun with friends, right? To have fun with players. It's not you being ahead of the game and then, you know, showing off that you have high level gear, that kind of stuff. you want the newbies to catch up to you. You want the newbies to be in the same page as fast as you can, so that you have more players to play with. I guess with that being said, I covered the update for the so it's been released. I'm really liking the big updates for NA. Like some people might hate it, but it doesn't look bad to me. It looks really good. They're releasing as much as they can. I think they're doing a really good job. So that being said, I covered everything. So hope you guys liked the update. I covered it a little late. For any other detailed stuff here, I'm gonna cover it with other videos. Like for example, there's gonna be interview for Arcana, all that stuff. If people want to know about the roster stuff again that I covered, it seems like some people didn't get it. Some people got it immediately. Maybe we can grab another time. I can explain it again to tell you exactly how I did it. Maybe we can spend more time there. But since we're just covering the update, we can just stop from here, okay? As always, thanks guys. Bye, YouTube.